over 1,600 days. That's how long the Russia-Ukraine war has dragged on for. The question is, how many more days before it ends? Remember when Donald Trump said he could end the war in 24 hours? Well, that's clearly not happened. Along the way, in fact, things even reached a point where he said the US has got nothing to do with it. We have seen several twists and turns along the way. As of now, a crucial juncture yet again seems to be emerging. Russia seems to be gearing up for a massive escalation. It is reportedly preparing for what is being called the final push. Will this fall and winter become Putin's way of carrying out this so-called last push? Will it work? Will it be a game changer? Does a brutal winter await Ukraine? A number of serious questions right now. Remember, squeezing Ukraine as far as using the harsh winter to make matters worse for the country has been a part of Russia's strategy. Ukraine, meanwhile, has also been attacking Russia's grid to the extent that it has led to an impact in Russia. Let's just decode the strategies from another lens for now. Has Russia's strategy of a so-called war of attrition actually backfired? Has it led to its own exhaustion and fatigue more than Ukraine's? And has this happened at a faster rate as compared to the pace at which Ukraine has been losing its ability to resist, if at all? While there's no easy way to answer that, the fact is, on the battlefield, things have only been heating up. Russia and Ukraine continue to exchange heavy fire, with long-range strikes escalating far beyond the front lines. Ukrainian drone strikes, in fact, on Russia's south killed 2 people, including an 8-year-old. Ukraine has justified the increase in strikes on Russia in what it says is fair retribution for Moscow's own daily strikes on Ukrainian cities. In fact, Russia's southern region, home to several tourist hotspots, also saw a barrage of several hundred Ukrainian drones, according to the regional governor. He said that debris from drones damaged 21 buildings in the port city. Russia's defense ministry, meanwhile, said it shot down over 500 Ukrainian drones across its territory and the Black Sea overnight. On the other hand, Ukraine said Russian drones killed 2 people in the frontline city of Kherson, including a woman whose house was struck. And Ukraine's Air Force reported Moscow launched missiles and drones, 112 of which were shot down or intercepted. They were mostly targeting its southern Odessa region and Sumy in the northeast. Meanwhile, Zelensky has warned Russia could launch a new mobilization after its September parliamentary elections. Not just that, he claimed Ukrainian intelligence has evidence of preparations for the move, including a possible recruitment drive involving hundreds of thousands of Russians. Russian authorities have not confirmed such a plan, reportedly. According to the Ukrainian president, Washington could help by strengthening Ukraine's air defenses and pressuring Russia to move towards an end to the war. In fact, U.S. negotiators Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner expected to engage with both sides after peace efforts have largely stalled. And in an update that came in just a short while back, according to a report in the Financial Times, Ukraine has paused drone strikes on oil tankers using Russia's Black Sea port after a request from U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance. The report said this, citing Ukrainian officials. The report added last month's request followed U.S. alarm that Ukraine was destabilizing oil markets and harming U.S. firms by targeting tankers carrying crude piped from Kazakhstan to a Caspian pipeline consortium terminal at that port. That's the location we are talking about. That's the Black Sea and the port that we're talking about. Meanwhile, there's another crucial aspect here. Is the cooperation between Russia and North Korea deepening? And if yes, to what extent? Remember, there's a lot of background to this. In the latest, Ukraine's president, according to him, Russian forces used ballistic missiles supplied by North Korea in an attack on the southeastern city of Zaporizhia. And he said Russia had used missiles, drones, glide bombs to attack Ukrainian cities. What about peace? Is there any hope at this point? While Volodymyr Zelensky has said Kiev has handed US new proposals aimed at ending the war, this reportedly coming amid suggestions by both Ukraine and Russia that US negotiators would soon pay a visit to their two countries. But will things work out this time around? As of now, hope is in limited quantity and the uncertainty is only deepening. All right, shifting focus now to another special report for you. The United States wants to make the next era of lunar exploration bigger, a lot faster, and more cost efficient. In fact, it aims to build a base on the moon, and for that, NASA wants ISRO on board. And the reasons are quite clear. India, after all, has built its space program around exactly that formula. And most importantly, it has already shown the world how to reach the moon for a fraction of the cost. Just to sum this up, India has got more done, it has spent less, and above all, it got the mission done, making India and ISRO extremely lucrative. NASA's moon-based program, Invitation to ISRO, is aimed at establishing a lasting human presence near the moon's south pole, basically by establishing humanity's first outpost, one that could prepare for crewed missions to Mars and drive lunar scientific breakthroughs as well. Now, let's tell you more about this. The invitation came during the 9th meeting of the India-US Civil Space Joint Working Group in Bengaluru. The US ambassador, in fact, called it a step towards deepening the US-India deep space partnership. And Chandrayaan-3 explains why. In 2023, ISRO landed safely near the lunar south pole, a historic first, and with a mission that cost roughly $75 million cheaper, did not mean smaller. In fact, the mission delivered a huge landmark moment. Not just that, it demonstrated the core strengths of India's space model: engineering at a frugal cost, fast execution, and also the ability to turn limited resources into global scale achievements. And that's exactly the kind of partnership, or rather a partner, that NASA needs perhaps right now. Because a moon base is not one mission, NASA envisions a permanent, habitable outpost where astronauts can basically live, work, conduct scientific research for extended periods. Let's tell you more about the base. It would be built through a series of crewed as well as uncrewed missions with habitats, power systems, rovers, cargo operations developed over time. China also has a similar lunar ambition, remember, targeting a crewed moon landing before 2030 and the construction of an international lunar research station at the moon's south pole, running directly in a competitive space race alongside NASA's Artemis program. So that race has only been heating up, and the development also comes at a time when India is also building its first national space station, remember. The station with the first module planned for launch by 2028 and full completion targeted by 2035 itself. India's maiden human space flight, meanwhile, targeted for 2027. And to ensure that Gaganyaan becomes a sustained space exploration mission, ISRO is also reportedly establishing a crew isolation facility and astronaut quarters in Sriharikota, where future astronauts will be trained and equipped for space travel. Now, it's also important to note here that the location near the lunar south pole for this outpost is quite strategic and significant. In fact, scientists believe permanently shadowed craters there contain water ice, a potential source for life support, and even future fuel production. So this is extremely significant. And some elevated areas also receive near continuous sunlight, making them valuable for solar power. But a permanent presence comes with a permanent bill as well. Habitats, power, rovers, cargo, life support, science and crewed flights basically will all have to work again and again. Every mission will cost money. Every failure will come at a huge price, if at all. And that is where ISRO's expertise, experience could become a strategic asset, to say the least. India has shown it can build, launch, and operate complex space missions without the budgets of the world's biggest space powers. It has also shown resilience. Chandrayaan-2 ended in partial success in 2019. 4 years later, Chandrayaan-3 landed. NASA likely sees ISRO as a partner that brings technological sophistication, but also something just as important for a long-term moon program is cost discipline and proven success, of course. Just for further perspective here, as of 2024, NASA reportedly operates with an annual budget of approximately $25 billion, whereas the Indian Space Research Organization functions on about $1.6 billion. A huge difference, meaning ISRO's annual funding is roughly 6% that of NASA's total yearly allocation. Imagine that. And ISRO could also bring its experience in cost-effective mission design, reliable launch services, and lunar science, while in return gaining access to advanced expertise in habitats, life support systems, and deep space operations. India's participation would also push ISRO from robotic lunar exploration towards a role in sustained human presence on the moon. So the next phase of the space race may not be won simply by the country that can spend the most. It would also be won by the countries that can achieve the most with the least cost. Let's now tell you all about the Copenhagen Fashion Week, which took place during the first week of August, and it's turned out to be a treasure trove of new style and beauty trends. Scandinavian fashion has long been associated with clean lines and neutral colors, something that fashion experts refer to as minimalism or Scandi minimalism. But this time around, the Fashion Week held in Copenhagen also promised a bolder future. In fact, designer opened the week with a collection focused on wardrobe essentials, from oversized cotton shirts to matching pull-on trousers. Outfits in soft beige tones ruled the runway. The appeal of understated dressing, which is the core of such minimalistic aesthetic, remained intact with other such collections as well. But even as the Scandi minimalist aesthetic remained a part of Copenhagen's fashion identity, designers are also broadening their horizon. And the Spring 2027 collection is proof that Scandinavian style is no longer limited to quiet dressing, and is perhaps heading for Scandi maximalism, as many are calling it. This year, many designers embraced a more expressive approach. For instance, Opera Sort displayed a mix of color with two-piece sets and embellished sheer blouses. And instead of sticking to neutral basics, many others offered wearable interpretations of floral prints. The shift to bold and bright is a welcome move and is also telling of the time to come. Unlike fashion capitals that are usually dominated by historic luxury houses, Copenhagen has a number of younger brands that are quickly adopting to changing styles as well.